Today we will be looking at the importance of grammar, specifically correct grammar. The resources required for today's lesson is web-based PowerPoints. At the end of this lesson, you'll be given a quiz by your tutor. General objective for today's lesson. Students will be required to be completely competent with grammar. More specifically, students should be able to state the 8 parts of speech and determine the parts of speech of a word by its function in a sentence. Let us now turn our focus to our first part of speech, nouns. A noun is a word naming a person, place, thing, or idea. Our first type is called common noun. Its function is to name any person, place, thing, or idea. For examples, dog, city, woman, day, team, show. Another type of noun is called proper noun. The function of it is to name a particular person, place, thing, or idea. For example, Rover, Chicago, Samantha, Friday, Houston. Note carefully they are all capitalized. Another type of noun is called the collective noun. Its function is to name a group. For example, team, group, crew, herd, flock, class, crowd, swarm, pile, pride. Another type of noun is called the concrete noun. Its function is to refer to things that can be seen, heard, smelled, tasted, or touched. For example, apple, zebra, roses, spaghetti, velvet, firecracker. Another type of noun is called the abstract noun, which is the opposite of concrete noun. The function is to refer to ideas, things that cannot be seen, heard, smelled, tasted, or touched. For example, hope, peace, faith, and joy. We shall now take our attention to verbs. A verb is a word that shows an action or the fact that something exists. Every sentence must contain a verb. The verb tells what the subject does or is. To find a verb in a sentence, ask yourself these questions. First question, which word shows an action? For example, a strange person is walking on the street right now. The verb walking shows an action. If no word in the sentence shows an action, ask yourself this question. Which word shows that something exists? For example, this unusual person is a teenage werewolf. The verb is says something exists. There are other verbs called common helping verbs. Forms of have, such as has, have, having, had. There's also forms of be. For example, am, is, are, was, were, be, been. Other helping verbs are do, does, did, may, might, must, can, could, will, would, shall, should. Note carefully, it is to help sentences, hence it is called helping verbs. Our next part of speech is called adjective. An adjective is a word that modifies or describes a noun or pronoun. Adjectives provide information about nouns and pronouns by answering questions such as which, what kind, how many, or how much. Besides common adjectives like tall, last, and 5, there are 4 special categories of adjectives. They are articles, proper adjectives, demonstrative adjectives, and indefinite adjectives. First one, articles. Examples are the, a, and. Proper adjectives. Examples are African, Japanese, Spanish, Californian, Greek. Demonstrative adjectives means to show. For example, this, that, these, those. And indefinite adjectives are words that cannot be counted. For example, any, each, few, many, more, most, several, some. Let us now look at adverbs. An adverb is a word that modifies or describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Adverbs make writing more vivid and precise by answering the questions how, when, where, and to what extent about these verbs, and the questions to what extent about adjectives and other adverbs. Adverbs modifying verbs. For example, how? Lucia plays video games skillfully. How does she play? Skillfully. For example, when? Yesterday she visited a computer software store. When did she visit? Yesterday. For example, where? She bought a new video game there. Where did she buy it? There. And to what extent? She barely noticed the other stores in the mall. To what extent? Barely. Adverbs modifying an adjective. To what extent? Lucia was quite happy with her purchase. What extent? Quite. And adverbs modifying another adverb. To what extent Lucia plays video games? Very skillfully. Answer would be skillfully. Let us now look at preposition, another part of speech. A preposition relates the noun or pronoun that appears with it to other or another word in the sentence. Prepositions show the relationship between the person, place, thing, or idea and another word in the sentence. These relationships are often one of time, that is, before and after, or space, that is, beyond or behind. Examples of prepositions: about, after, against, around, as, behind, below, between, beyond, during, except, in, inside, near, off, out, outside, through, till, under, until, and with. For example, between you and me, there is a big bouncing ball. Another important part of speech is called conjunction. A conjunction is a word that links single words or groups of words. Common examples of coordinating conjunction are and, but, or, nor, for, yet. All these words link words or group of words of equal rank. For example, crates, pythons, and cobras are deadly snakes. Interjection, another important part of speech. An interjection is a word or group of words that expresses emotion. A strong interjection is followed by an exclamation point. A mild interjection is followed by a comma. For example, wow, what a beautiful day! Exclamation point. Or, yikes! Exclamation point. The water feels like ice. Or, oh my goodness, comma, I think I left my sunglasses at the beach. Now that you have learned about all your parts of speech, please move on to the assessment. See the quiz attached. Have fun. Hello and welcome. Today we will be looking at the importance of